We're beautiful.
Hello. So I am going to show you guys how to eyeliner if you have hooded eyes. Again, this is the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. This is the way I'm comfortable with. This is just an idea. Before I put the eyeliner on my face, the first thing I'm going to do is put primer on my face. Go ahead and do that right now. Now that I set my face, the next thing I am going to do is pow my face, which means I'm putting setting powder on my face. Because before you put eyeliner or eyeshadow like that, for those who do use it, puts it on before, you know. So I'm gonna be doing it that way. If you do not have setting powder, a cheap alternative that I like to use is baby powder. It does the exact same thing. So if you have baby powder laying around and you want to use setting powder, you can do it that way without hurting your bake. So I have been using the same baby powder for the past 6 years. So if you're really cheap and you want something to last for like a long time, and I still have a lot more baby powder, baby powder is your best option for your setting powder. Now that I set my face and I put powder on, now I can show you my way of how I do my eyeliner. I'm going to show you one way on one eye, and I'm going to do another way for the next eye if you don't want for like different types of thickness, and we're gonna go from there. So once you open it, if you're using a dipper, wipe off the excess and make sure that your eyeliner tip is pointed. Once you have that, I'm going to show you the thicker way first. You want to start where, however long you want it, you're going to start up top, and you're going to bring it down and drag it until you get your end, right? And then you're going to take it again, and you're going to go back here, and you're going to drag it to your bottom. You're going to swoop up. And if you didn't catch what I mean by swoop up, I stopped right here when I dragged it down, and then I went here and I swooped it up, so that way it connects evenly enough. I'm going to take off all the excess and make sure I'm pointed, and then after I'm going to fill in my eye. And you've got to make sure you're going in the right direction when you fill it in, so it looks right when it dries. Now that I'm filled in, I am going to go back up, and you see this corner little piece that's like sticking out, and you'll take it, and you'll drag until you meet the middle of your eye, like that. And then you're going to fill it in. And again, make sure you're going in the same direction, or it's not going to look right when it dries. And then if you have hooded eyes, what you want to do is you want to keep your eye closed just long enough for it to dry. That way it doesn't get stuck up on the top of your eyelid. So now that you have that, like a bitch, a thicker eye and you want a more drastic look, you don't have to stop at the middle. You can continue going this way until you meet the corner of your eye. I'm not going to do that right now. I kind of already did it, but I will show you again over mine with what I did with the bottom part of my eye. You're going to take your eyeliner again. If you're using a dipper, make sure it is as pointed as it can be, or it's not going to look right. Once you do that, you're going to take the corner of your eye at the bottom, and you're going to swoop in to connect with the rest of your eye. You want to make sure when you swoop from the bottom, when you start, you want to make sure it is as point and sharp as it possibly can get upward. That way it doesn't look weird. You can either keep it like this, the way I have it, or if you want more details with the bottom, you can do little fake eyelash little things, and you can swoop the opposite way up your line. You can have more than one. You can have the first one longer, and the second one a little smaller than the first one next to it, in the same direction. Here's the end result of my thick eye eyeliner tutorial for hooded eyes. If you want to, you can even thicken this a little bit more if you want, but I'm not going to do that. Now on to the next one for the thin eyeliner. Can you shut the fuck up? So now I'm going to start with the thin liner. Again, you're going to take your eyeliner, and if you're using a dipper, you want to wipe off the excess off the side, and you want to make sure your eyeliner is as pointed, your eyeliner pen is like as pointed as it can be. And for this one, instead of starting up top, you're going to start up top still, but instead of swooping up top, you're going to drag it down instead. And what I mean by swooping down instead of going up, again, you are going to, for the first part, you are going to start with however long you want your eyeliner, and you are going to take it, and you're going to drag it down, and make sure your eyeliner pencil has no excess on it, and is as thin pointed as you can get it, or it's not going to look right. Especially if you are doing thin eyeliner, the thicker your point is, the thicker the filling will be. And now that you have that, your eye should look like this. In your eyeliner, it should look like it's aiming more down this way than it is up that way. And so then when you do your bottom eye, you'll do your bottom eye first for this one. For the thin eye, you're going to take from the bottom, and you're going to, from the little corner, and you're going to swoop it up and drag it to the little, just a little bit, not the whole thing. And you're going to fill it in. And again, when it's the bottom, make sure it is pointed. Now that it's swooped up, make sure that it's pointed, so that way it looks right. And now your eye should look like this. Again, for the bottom one, you do not go all the way up to meet like you did for this one. You just stop at the little corner, okay? And you're going to take the same corner that you started with the bottom, like where you stopped at the bottom. You're going to take it from the top, and you're going to swoop upwards to match. And again, make sure it's very light. You're going to make sure it's very light when you do it, and you don't put too much pressure. The more pressure, the thicker it gets. And you're just going to drag it up for a little bit until you meet the corner of, or the middle of your eye. And then you're going to swoop inwards. So that way it's in the middle, and it looks like it blends in with your actual eye. And now you should have it like this. And you're going to take the bottom again from where you stopped, and you're going to fill it in a little more upwards. Not too much, because again, you want it thin. Not too much. And it should look like this. And you're going to repeat the motion with the top liner. So you're going to take it, and you're going to drag it down this time now. You get the top, you take it from where you started, and you're going to drag and swoop down a little bit. Again, make sure it's super thin and there's no excess, so your eyeliner doesn't come out to be too thick. Have the lightest touch in order for it to work. Now, if you're crooked right here, you can fill it in a little to make sure it's not. Only reason it's crooked for me is because I have shaky hands right now. Usually my hand's not shaky when I do it. It shouldn't be for you, so you don't have to worry about that as much with the whole bumpy part. As long as you have steady hands, it it will come out right. Only reason I have shaky hands right now is because there's a joint in my bone that's missing, so my bone tends to like separate like that. It's currently like that, so it's making my hand shaky. But other than that, your eye should look like this, and so up here should be thinner now. I mean, it's thicker at the bottom, yes, but for the top part, it's thin. Your thin point eyeliner should be like this. It's thin point and it's straight, and it doesn't go up. I mean, you can if you want. If you do that way, you would just start your eye above a little bit more right here, but I'm not doing that. But this is the end result for your thin liner, or your smaller liner if you don't want to do thick and drastic. Again, if you want more details, you can put big eyelashes the same way I did here. But other than that, that is how you do eyeliner if you have hooded eyes. And yeah.